Or do I pick them?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. This is Tony from Nova.
Tony.
We were doing really well. We had pretty much a full cohort, we thought, going into the fall with the Health IT certificate. The other two programs, the nursing and the medical assisting, are both at capacity, so those, we don't have to do any recruitment for those. What we're finding, and what Margaret and Patricia had warned us about, is that our particular Health IT Career Studies certificate is really geared towards entry-level students. It's not geared towards incumbent workers like it had been in the past. So a lot of the students that had signed up and have come in and met with Beth, and they're kind of seeing the job prospects or lack thereof. We've lost a few of them to some of the other medical programs here on the campus, like HIM or the clinical data coding. So not only is it a matter of we need to go out and start recruiting incumbent workers and start targeting that demographic, I think we need to take a look at bolstering up the actual career studies certificate so it will put these people, it'll put our students in jobs, because there's not a lot of incentive for them to put in all that time and money when you can't even really show them, yes, this is where you can go work. So we're kind of revamping and realigning our focus for our recruitment. So see, not a success story, so nobody has to outdo me now.
Tony, this is Patricia. Just one thing I think for the whole group is that you've hit on is for that kind of a certificate. Congratulations for thinking about the incumbent worker population. That's
well,
huge.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, we had a lot of success with the students that we had originally when we did have they had to have a minimum. It was only 6 months experience, but, you know, everybody that was coming in had either worked in the healthcare industry or in IT. So we were working much higher with the ONC curriculum at the level that was designed for, versus then, I don't like to use the term dumbing it down, but kind of stripping it down so we could include more people in it. But it's of no benefit to anyone really now. It's not benefiting the new people coming in because they're not getting enough experience, and for those who have experience, it's not, you know, they already know pretty much everything that's in it. So yeah, it's a little discouraging, but you know, that's how these things go. You live and learn.
And if I understand correctly, your classes have already started or are starting.
They started today. Today was day 1.
Okay, so recruiting for that certificate for this term is history, right?
It is, yes. Now we can bolster up semester 2 and add content and do those kind of things, but as far as changing it and putting back in that stipulation that they have to have experience, that would not hit until next fall, because that would have to go before a committee. But we can recruit the type of students we want, and we can add content with the infusion in those type of things. I mean, it's a great opportunity to add to the courses that we have right now and give the incumbent workers something that will actually be beneficial to them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, all right then. Thanks. Rod?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had him on mute. My apologies. And I called out 2 people, too. So who would like to go next? Cindy, would you like to go? I don't think I'm on mute anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here, Rob.
Okay.
So in terms of recruitment, we just enrolled the entire first-year RN cohort for fall quarter, and the MA cohort for fall quarter is coming up, and these are for our infused courses. So we'll be enrolling them, and we have 2 cohorts of MAs already enrolled. And we offered a summer course, short course, 33 hours of health information technology to our IT our CIS students, our computer information students, sort of calling it an infusion, and we enrolled them as well. So that's that particular part of recruitment. Anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Cindy.
Okay.
Lynette, would you like to go?
Sure. For recruitment, we have been, let's see, wow, we've done as many fairs as there is up here, including the actual fair in the Northwest Washington Fair. We've had information out at multiple places. We worked with WorkSource to get their kind of case managers, student navigators up to speed, and we're developing a slide for them to have rotating on their computers in their computer lab. And then we reached back to anyone who had shown an interest in our computer networking, billing and coding, and some of our other health programs, but haven't applied for anything. So we sent out a few hundred letters and to see if people are interested and give them information about our new certificate. And then our new student navigator has been calling those students as a follow-up, and then we also have a student call center on campus, so they've been calling students as a follow-up as well. We also are doing the first week of September, our admissions office does a program highlight every quarter or every month, so we're going to be the program highlight, the new HeW certificate. We went into the newspaper, we're in the quarterly, yeah, and we have 5 students. So we're just really trying to get it all out there. Yeah, our infusion, we have students in those programs, it's not a problem, but it's just the new certificate that should be starting in September. We're just really trying to get people interested and get them in the door, so.
Yeah, we're doing
any
the same.
questions?
Thanks, Lynette, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Did Greg come on board, or is he still missing? Still MIA? Okay. I'll go ahead and go. Kind of doing the same thing you guys are doing. We tried to put together a K-HIMS course, CA-HIMS course this fall, but we didn't have the numbers. So Bellevue was nice enough to give us some space in their classroom, their online classroom. And we have right now 5 bodies to go their way. We had a lot more this summer, but with fall coming up and with the heavy loads that these students take, they're not willing to take a full load and to add something on top of it. A lot of our courses are part of our programs. For instance, our mobile courses in development are part of the software development program. So we do have students. The concern right now, a month out from class start, is the enrollment is still really low. But I've been assured by a lot of folks that that gets a lot better as we get closer to the deadline. As far as incumbent workers, we just got the Workforce Navigator on board, and our hopes are we can get connected to the community a lot better. Veterans, I've been having a bit of success, and I got some meetings next week up at the base, and I'm also going to hit some commanders calls this fall that will hopefully put us in a good position for the fall and spring, excuse me, the winter and the spring. And that's kind of where our efforts are right now. We did, just like Lynette just said, we were discussing with prior students and email blasts and letters to see if they're willing to take our courses and upgrade their skills. And we've been trying since the very get-go to be very honest about what our certificates look like, that you can't get a job simply by having a mobile certificate. You have to have the proper credentials to have a software development job or a networking job before you're going to get it, before you can walk into a place and demand a high salary. So that's kind of where we are. Let's see, Donna?
Sure. We've done a lot of marketing and ads. We've run, we hit a lot of the newspapers on both at the joint base, which is our Army-Navy base down here. Starting to see some of that pay off, getting some students coming in. So like you, I'm kind of hoping it'll pick up in the next week or two, since school won't start for another month. But we've got our fall class. I haven't looked at the numbers today, but it's over half full, so I'm not panicking or anything. I think the biggest concern I'm having on recruitment right now is because we just finished our first class in our new certificate, and wow, talk about students, mature students that have life happening to them, as they keep telling me. I have had students needing surgery, and in an 8-week summer quarter, that devastates their background. I think I've had half the class with medical issues of some sort, and so I've had to really accommodate and allow late everything, including late past the final, just to try to keep them in and get them back into the fall. And so I've got several students on contracts to try to complete their work in the months that, between now and school starting, just to try to keep them in. Not something I was planning on having to spend my time on, but I mean, they're excited, so at least, I haven't chased them off from that perspective.
Do you realistically hope to get 75% or better back for the second class?
It should be 75. I lost one because he's moving out of state, and I lost one because now that she finally got her hands into the dirty part of it, it's kind of like, maybe that's not really what I want to do, which, you expect to have that happen some. The rest of them, it's just trying to hold on to them with all of their other issues. Some of them have lost funding. We're trying to scramble, try to get that, handled. Every one of these students really does need one-on-one help. And just, Patricia, you'll love this one. Our navigator's back on hold again. It's caught back up in red tape, so I'm still wearing that hat.
I'm so sorry, Donna.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, that's my report.
I just got mine, so she's in training right now, but she's been a big help already. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it.
And
Maria?
Rob, this is Patricia. I think someone just joined us. If we could ask.
I think Brooke left.
Yeah. Oh, someone left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Rob.
Okay. Maria, would you like to share your recruitment?
Well, the medical assistant program is doing well. We actually have a waiting list for next winter. And I kind of got in trouble for kind of over-advertising the health information technology piece because I don't have a program for people to enroll. So I've been sending them to Bellevue. So hopefully Kim and Andy have been getting some phone calls. But what I've been just giving, when people come and talk to me, I give them supply of information. There's a HeW Career 13 guide that talks about careers in HIT. I email that to anybody who wants it. And it talks about the jobs in there, gaining more education, some of the jobs that are available. So I would recommend emailing that copy out to everybody. And also all the other jobs that has to do with HIT. I always give that information out. But so hopefully, well, Boots to Work is coming up, and then we're actually going to be at Fort Lewis at the Education Fair. I have Rachel's flyers and brochures to give out at Boots to Work. So if anybody else wants to give me something, I'll be more than happy to give it out.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Maria. Rachel?
Hi, thanks Maria, I appreciate that. So recruitment over here at Clark is going well. It's not an area I was too concerned about, being that we have pretty competitive programs, but some of the things I tried to focus on as far as recruitment was designating a certain number of spots for the veterans, their spouses, and the TAA. So we have 3 spots in each program, nursing and pharmacy tech, that are going to be designated to them. And we've had a couple of students who are interested in applying to the programs who have seen information on our website about the grant and who have called us and asked us for assistance, so that's pretty exciting, having them see that stuff out there. And other than that, everything's going pretty well on that regard.
Good deal. Good deal. Esther? Is Esther with us? Anyone hear me?
And Esther was with us. I wonder if she's lost connection, because we just heard a couple couple of bumps, didn't we? Okay.
Okay, well, that makes up 7 of the 9 project managers. We didn't get a hold of Greg, and we didn't talk to Esther.
Well, I think probably Margaret and I can say a little bit about the about how recruitment's going at Bellevue.
Okay.
So, yeah, Andy, our navigator, is on vacation today. Excuse me. Let's see, I haven't thought much about this. I guess that was, it was Maria, I think. Andy and I will be going to the Joint Base Education, I'm trying to think what it's called.
Education Fair?
Yeah, in September. And then Andy has been doing an interesting thing, and he's been going to the, I think just his first, but he's planning on more, the one-stops, and actually talking, kind of walking in, talking with the counselors one-on-one and bringing flyers and just, kind of stirring up information that way. He's certainly been working consistently on the social media side, and has been very active in LinkedIn and listservs, and Roger's been, of course, tweeting stuff out for us. What else comes to your mind, Margaret? Yeah, and then I'm really very interested in what we can do more of, and what you all are doing. Some of you have touched on it and some of you haven't, around the incumbent worker population. There's a very rich vein to mine there, and some of the brainstorming that we've done around that is the professional associations, certainly. WTIA, which is the, I always get in trouble with this, Washington Technology Industry Association, has many different branches, and something that we've talked about is targeting, like, say, the database guys and women, or targeting the networkers, and making sure that they get information. So there's a lot to do around incumbent workers, and we would love to put together some best practices so everybody can see them on the project site. Anything?
Patricia, have you had any success talking to them?
I think that is on Andy's list.
Yeah, because there's a price listing on there. We would fall underneath the non-technical, and it's $12,000 a year. I already looked into them, but not a lot, and I kind of get the feeling that they facilitate insurance and training and things like that probably make them money.
Yeah, in the past they've let us, for other purposes, they've let us distribute information. They've let us, attend they're not called subgroup meetings, but I think special interest group meetings, for instance. Yeah, and believe me, we certainly didn't pay that kind of freight. So I think that especially around initiatives from public colleges that touch on veterans, there shouldn't be too much trouble at the gate.
Yeah, and they also advertise their involvement with workforce, so I'm still trying, and I'm trying to get a connection soon. I actually talked to Esther, and she told me that she hasn't been able to contact him yet either. So
okay.
She has some emails into them, and they haven't responded.
Huh.
One last thing on recruitment I thought you guys might find interesting. I don't know if you're finding it on your side of the state yet, but we have another big fair coming up, and it's called Hiring Our Heroes, and it's being sponsored by University of Phoenix. And they are actually asking providers such as ourselves to go on a waiting list, and what they're trying to do is pack the place full of actual employers, not just people like us advertising our wares. So I'm on hold right now to see if I could even participate. Either way, I'm going to show up there and walk around, but they don't want us. They want to see if they can fill the place up first with people actually offering jobs.
Uh-huh.
So you're not seeing that on your side of the state at all?
No, I know that Andy and Esther and several people on the call have been at multiple job fairs, but we've come to question, as our time frame narrows, we've come to question where effort is best spent. And so if you're spending effort at places where people are looking for jobs rather than education, and that's, it's very worthy activity, but at least at Bellevue, we feel like we need to act very, very strategically now and go to places where people are looking for education first and foremost.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's just something that's new on this side, and I was wondering if you guys have seen the same thing over there.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, our spotlight this month is Bellingham, and we're giving Lynette the opportunity to tell us about our program.
Hello. I talked a little bit about recruitment. So overall, our curriculum development components, our nursing program has recently undergone some adjustments, and in fall quarter we'll be offering our new program, which is a 2-year ADN. Previously we had a practical nursing program and an LPN to RN bridge program. So now we just have a full 2-year ADN. So in the spring, we piloted our infused curriculum, got student and staff feedback, and rewrote it. So it will be ready for the new program in the fall. So that's going just fine. We also are infusing into our Rad Tech program, and that's gone pretty well. It's a natural fit to have more IT in that program. They do have some already, so it's perfect. They've already been working on it. We've just kind of been helping update and make it a little more interactive. And then finally, we're creating a 1-year health IT certificate under our computer networking program. So it takes some of our first-year computer networking classes and combines some what we're calling health technology classes, which is based off of the HeW's modules. So we're putting those in along with some other content to create 3 5-credit classes. And that's been going pretty well. The development part has been going fine. The faculty are happy about it. They think it's a area that they haven't put a lot of effort into, but that's definitely necessary. So they're also taking and doing some curriculum for the IT classes as well. And then, like I said, in the recruitment part, the certificate, we're just trying to get students to start taking it. We have a lot of interest, but it's just a matter of getting people signed up and at the right spot and ready to go by fall quarter. We're looking at a possibility of what would it look like if people didn't start till winter. How could we make that work? And also looking at the possibility, there's several computer networking degree students who would be interested in getting the certificate on top of their degree. And so we're looking at how we could make that happen, or maybe offering more sections, or maybe all at once in the summer or something, so that they could have that option, because I think Rob said their schedule is so packed they don't have room for additional classes, but if we could offer it when they're done or at a time when it works for them. We also worked on a lot of PLA. Our college was a little bit behind, and our registrar was excited to have someone else to help focus it. So we worked as a small committee this year, and we implemented a new and more compliant and more aligned with the state board prior learning policy. And we also did some research on our own and with Andy to pull together more testing information to better accept CLEP and DSST and things like that. Our former student navigator also worked on joint transcripts and trying to get those understood and teach other advisors how to use it and whatnot. So that was really helpful. On the veterans end, our student navigator, we had Laura. She was a veteran, or she is a veteran, and she had done a lot to really connect with the vets on campus and the club and regionally, and she unfortunately took another job at the college. So she's still in the admissions office, so that's helpful, so she can kind of still help us, but we did have to rehire that job. And so we do have a new person, and we're very excited about him. He worked previously in our disability support office, as well as a Title III grant we had. So he's on board as about a month ago, and he's hit the ground running. He does not have veterans background, so we're still kind of collaborating with Laura on some things. I think that's about it. Overall, I think everything's going fine.
Great. Any questions for Lynette? No? Okay, moving on to evaluation. And Patricia, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Debbie Kogan, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Well, hello, Debbie Kogan. All right, then. Debbie, this has been kind of a standing item, but I'm really glad that you are joining us now. I don't think we have you on video yet, do we?
No, I don't have a camera right here.
Okay. Alrighty. So just wanted to let everybody know that as we've been talking about all through the startup and implementation of the grant, that SPR has joined us, as you know, has signed the contract. The contracting phase is over, as you know. And Debbie Kogan, who's on this call, will be leading us in the evaluation team effort. And I'd like to ask Debbie just to describe a little bit about who comprises that team and what it's going to be like. But the first get-together that we'll have will be our on-site visit. Debbie and her colleagues will be joining us here at Bellevue on the 9th and 10th. In my last Friday update, or the one before that, I guess, I asked if anybody would like to join us by phone conference. We won't be doing video, but by phone conference, 8 a.m. to or sometime around 10 a.m. on Monday, September 9th. That's when the Bellevue team and the SPR team will come together for the first time, and we'll, do a little introductory stuff, and we'll talk about the big issues and the scope of the evaluation. And Rachel and her colleagues are going to take us up on that, and if anybody else would like to, just let Roger Adams know. So my understanding is, Debbie, you'll be with us the 9th and 10th. Half of the 10th will be essentially an on-site visit for the Bellevue College member effort, which is led by Esther Daniels, of course. And then I don't know whether on the 9th you're going to Renton. Is Renton the 9th, or is Pierce?
On the 9th, Veronice, who's a member of our team, is going to Pierce. And then on the 10th, she and I are going together to Renton.
To Renton. Okay, great. Looks like,
Wait a minute, did you say the 10th? I have you down for the 11th.
I'm probably saying the wrong day. Let's see, the 9th, the 10th. Yeah, the 10th, Veronice. The 11th, we're coming, Maria.
But she just
I didn't mean to give anybody a heart attack.
Yes, okay, good. Surprise you, Maria. Just be ready at any time. Yeah, and so we want to make sure that every project manager that is able and interested can be as engaged as possible. And Debbie, would you like to talk a little bit about the members of your team, you, yourself, the members of the team, and what you'll be accomplishing in this first on-site visit?
Okay, so there are 3 of us who are coming up to Bellevue on the first visit. Veronice Chaboya-Perez, who's will be the evaluation liaison to 3 of the colleges, Pierce, Renton, and I'm forgetting which is her 3rd site. I'll be coming, and I will be working primarily over time with the consortium, finding out about the leadership roles of the consortium. And then the 3rd person coming on the visit to Bellevue is Marianne Negoita. He is the leader of our, I guess I want to call it the quantitative part of our evaluation, which will be supporting you in documenting outcomes and then looking for ways to measure impacts. And then there's a 4th and 5th member of the team who we didn't want to overwhelm you in person with the full 5-member team, but we will have 2 more team members. Maloney Sakrar is going to be the evaluation liaison to the 2 colleges in Bellingham, and I think to the college in Vancouver, and I apologize for not having your college names at the tip of my tongue. And Anne Paprocki is going to be the liaison to Nova and I think to Spokane. So our goal for the first visit is to learn enough about what's happening both at the consortium level and at the individual college level that we will be conversant enough with the issues you're facing and the phases of your implementation that we will then be able to develop our plan for staying in touch with you throughout the remainder of the study and how we can provide phased feedback to you on your progress. And then the second goal of our initial visit is to find out, again, what kind of outcome data you're collecting and how we can use that data, help you collect more data to answer some questions about outcomes and impacts. We're also dividing up our participation in your monthly committee meetings, and so I think that's enough said right now, but we will be becoming increasingly familiar with the details of your project and trying to make contributions whenever possible.
That's terrific. Thank you. Anything you'd like to add to that, Debbie, or is that?
Any questions? We think we'll be visiting each of the colleges face-to-face once a year, and then staying in touch with you over time as appropriate using telephone, email, and other modes of communication.
Great. So as part of that, I also wanted to mention that almost everybody, if not everyone, has met Dr. Michelle Royer. Hello. There we go. And Michelle is going to be our Bellevue College lead liaison to the SPR team. And Michelle has incredible experience to apply to this situation. She'll be doing a lot of the catchment, is the word that comes to my mind, I guess. She'll be catching a lot of the information and helping us think through the questions around data analysis, for instance, and just all manner of things. So Michelle's going to take leadership for us, and I just really wanted to say thank you, because we want to devote all the attention and effort that we possibly can to this really critical part of our project. So questions for Debbie or for Michelle? Anyone? Okay, well, Debbie, I think that we could agree that we are really and truly, we have jumped off the cliff together, right? We are in it.
We are in it.
Okay, great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you certainly on September 9th. But just to reiterate something that you said, Debbie and her colleagues will be attending our PM meetings, for instance, and the CIC meetings. Yeah, so I think you're going to be popping up everywhere, right, Debbie? That's what we're counting on. Okay, yep. Terrific. Well, thank you. And thanks, Rob.
All right, thank you, Patricia. Margaret, you're up. Curriculum.
The first item under curriculum is ensuring a credible quantity of content, and I'm speaking primarily of the infusion programs here. We intentionally didn't set an exact minimum because we wanted faculty in the various health programs to have the latitude to develop content that would be feasible to implement in their program. However, if you're expending thousands of dollars and you come up with 2 hours of content, it just doesn't hang together from an auditing perspective. So one alternative, we had an interesting conversation yesterday with the curriculum development specialists. I asked them all what their biggest challenge was, and boy, did I get a barrage of comments about wresting content from the faculty. Getting faculty attention, getting faculty input was a challenge across the board. However, we still have to produce. So a couple of strategies that were discussed was coming up with material and having the faculty react to it or do a review and comment on. A couple people said, well, that still didn't work with their faculty, but as the conversation evolved, a couple of people said they found that faculty would kind of warm to the ideas eventually, and some are hoping that if they can create some self-paced modules initially for students so that it's not a burden to faculty, and faculty don't have to worry about, oh, well, I don't know that subject matter that subject matter and how could I possibly get up to speed before fall, the students can go off and do some self-paced modules on their own, and gradually the faculty may adapt. So if you could encourage your curriculum development specialists to forge on ahead and develop content, and of course, we'd like as much faculty development involvement as possible because they're the ones who decide yay or nay on implementation. But the whole self-paced module idea has gone over pretty well at some of the colleges. I don't know if anybody else would like to jump in here. Okay. And for many of you, we're in the home stretch in terms of materials being complete in time for implementation. We've been really flexible about deadlines because we have to work around people's schedules realistically. However, now that we're in the home stretch, if I could ask you all to please be working very closely with your SMEs and your curriculum development specialists to make absolutely sure that curriculum will be on time and it won't impact implementation. And last item, just a reminder that we are in the process of updating the original version of CA HIMS, and that will be completed by the end of next week, and the content will be uploaded both to the HIT education site and to the Enter site. And we'll be in touch over the next few weeks about access codes for EMR Star for those of you who are going to be using that. And Tony, we will be getting you yours much sooner. Roger, will that be by the end of today?
Yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Okay. And we'll send you a link to the orientation video as well, Tony.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you.
Any questions or comments on curriculum?
When KHIMS is available, are we just going to send the link?
Sure, it will be available on the end of next week.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you, Margaret.
Sure.
Patricia, you guys discussed the DOL revision request update?
Yeah, just really, let's leave it on Margaret, and she can pretend that,
Oh,
we can do it like a
no. Nice try.
Yeah. Just two really quick comments. As you know, we have a regional revision request into the Department of Labor. It necessitated to hire the Veterans Program Manager because that position was moving from NOVA to Bellevue, and that's wanted to make sure that you knew that our Veterans Program Manager hiring is still on hold, waiting for our regional Department of Labor approval. The other thing that we included with that request is to be able to repurpose funds that that were put aside for another purpose that's not relevant any longer to fund our PM meeting on site here at Bellevue, hopefully next December. So it's been a few weeks now, and I received a message from our federal project officer, Jeff Chisholm, yesterday, and he said, just wanted to let you know that I'm working on this, but we don't have any definition yet. So very much looking forward to hiring that Veterans Program Manager and getting to work really, really quickly and efficiently in that area. 2 hires were made this week by HIMS. If you remember, HIMS has 2 initiatives that are contracted with our grant. One is the Veterans Initiative within the HIMS professional organization. The program manager was hired yesterday, and we'll be meeting with, I don't know whether it's a male or female, next month. Yeah, next month to sort of orient them to the project, but they're going to get started before then. And then the other side is HIMS is hiring hired a full-time program manager to manage the HIMS side of EMR Star, because as we know, Dr. Elliott Sloan is working very hard on the back end of EMR Star. And the front end is sort of the vendor-facing aspect of that, meaning there's vendors that need to be brought in so that their products can be made available for hands-on experiences for our students. And of course, there's the whole managing the codes issue and that kind of thing. The project manager at HeW was hired day before yesterday, I think, and she'll be on board in September for sure. So that's progress, and on several fronts, and then on a couple fronts, we're still on hold, and it hurts. I just wanted to let you know. Thanks, Rob.
All right, thank you, Patricia. All right, that takes us through all the plan discussions. Is there anything else that anyone would like to bring up? Any successes or failures or best practices? Comments? Well, I do have one comment about the revision request. Kind of upset you didn't add pizza and beer, but other than that, I think it's pretty good.
No problem, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's it, I guess we're going to close the meeting.
Okay. Thanks, Rob, for hosting us today.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.